Right, welcome back. Last time, well, all that's left over here is Venexia, at least when it comes to progressing down the mission tree to getting a permanent claim on the entire Central Italy region. Although that's going to be a very interesting bridge to cross, considering part of that is literally France. Oh well, I don't really need them as an ally anymore, do I? Yeah, so things certainly have gotten very interesting with regards to sheer power of the state. I've got 40,000 troops now, and can easily support it. And I have a massive naval capacity, thanks to conquering Genoa's territory. 116 ships without penalties, which is why I'm building a massive navy, because I'm going to have to compete against Venice. And the best way to do that is through sheer quantity, because they have naval ideas, and there's no guessing when they'll pick up something like naval quality. After all, Venexia is... all the possible ways to get to Venexia are considered straits, so... Additionally, I'm working towards shoving the nobility down to gentry. I have everything I need. I'm just going to need a bureaucratic advisor and 30 bureaucratic influence when the time comes 5 years from now. It will happen, though. It will happen. Mark my words. I will probably integrate Verona and Friuli. Oh yeah, Friuli is also a subject that I made. This one was diplomatic. I also got Austria to hand over Gorizia. Of course, it means I lost my permanent claim on it, but it's not fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I also got an event, the Thornton Expedition, that allows me to do expeditions. I also have a colonist, while the expeditions are enabled. It's not going to last for long, but I might be able to get a couple islands out here. Although I doubt it's going to be that useful. So no, might as well. Alrighty then. Well, the expeditions haven't been working very well. I've gotten one province, yes, but that's it. Oh well. I'm aware it will take time, so. The Board of Admiralty. Global naval engagement with plus 5%, naval morale plus 0.5, petition of right. Allows another group of ideas. And I guess I'll take shock cavalry. I've got so many mill points. Combat with plus 2, maneuver plus 15%, cavalry shock plus 0.2. Enables new unit types, I believe. Our infantry and artillery. Muskets and flying batteries. I'm gonna take representation ideas. Well, I could take exploration. But I really want the reduction in years of separatism. That would be very helpful. Plus more tolerance of heretics. That would also be very, very good. I don't really need the maximum amount of cultures, but the unrest reduction, better stability. Sure. I don't think I take this often enough, so. Inalienable rights. Rights guaranteed by men are apparently worth less than those guaranteed by nature. People take comfort in knowing that, at least philosophically, such protections cannot be removed. Base welfare plus 0.5, national unrest minus 1. I mean, the concept of natural rights doesn't really... I don't think it actually exists. There's no natural rights. It's just what society gives you, and what you take for yourself, and which people working together can take for themselves. No person is an island. You cannot exist outside of others. That's simply not how things work. Right, moving on. Culture of freedom. Whilst folks can certainly be quite tribal about who shares in the benefits of freedom, the precedent set by its existence makes extending it easier. Max promote cultures +1. Stakeholders. There has always been an implicit understanding that various groups have an interest in the behavior of the state, but making the state's behavior reflect that has always been more of a challenge. Yeah, well... the times of now, I'd say that the Tuscans are very much shaped by the wishes of the burghers. There's certainly the striving for an independent bureaucracy that does what it wills, what it wants to, without questions from others. Stability of reasonable minus 10%, hostile core creation cost plus 10%. Well, on us. Public opinion, a novel concept, but something that we have perhaps as yet underutilized. Let's just make sure they don't get the wrong ideas, like being able to form their own. Unity corruption minus 0.05. Oh yes. Consultative bodies, a classic institution, an olive branch to the power brokers of society. One can use its approval to justify a position and ignore its disapproval when it proves inconvenient. Base consultation plus 0.5. Ruler authority minus 10%, institutional authority plus 10%. Pluralism. There is room in the world for more than one opinion. Not every dissenting viewpoint is treason, even if most are. Who knows? Maybe we'll even learn something from listening to our opponents. Years of separatism minus 15. That's a lot. That's 5 entire unrest. I think with that, a lot of the separatism should produce dramatically. Make it much easier for me to handle things. I should also assign the merchant at some point. Perhaps it would be best to wait. There is one more idea left. Popular mandate. Approval granting a certain moral authority. One difficult to contest even when there is recourse to tradition of a bloodline, which is all the more reason not to lose it. Yearly Republican tradition plus 0.05, re-election cost minus 10%. As a finisher bonus, morale of armies plus 2.5%, manpower recovery speed plus 5%, and enables legal protections. I can drop centralize the state. It's not overly useful. It just makes things faster. Legal protections. +1 tolerance of heretics and heathens, and -5 years of separatism. I could get even more tolerance of heretics by the Tolerance Act, but I'd rather continue to converting for the time being, if I can. Plus, the improved tolerance of heretics will further improve my religious unity. I don't think tolerance reduces missionary strength, so... Anything else? Well, sadly, I don't think I can... Oh, I can't promote the bureaucrat faction. Good! The random events that occurred didn't prevent me from doing it. Yes! Promote the bureaucrat faction. I'm at 44. Nice. I can actually do quite a bit with this. Sadly, not nearly as much as I had hoped. I lack state reach for some of the more advanced reforms. Or it's irregular examinations, which I need meritocracy for. Or it's expand examinations to all officials. We can save that one for later, though. The real thing of importance is this. Gentry. Severely reduces their feudal dues, severely reduces their gravity, and severely reduces their autonomy, well, their power from wealth, and severely reduces the autonomy that they generate. No reason not to, other than the fact that they hate me for this. But if it makes the nobles hate me, it's worth doing. Great success. I just need to recover from this. Full grain provision. Ah, there really isn't anything I can do now. I can't yield concessions to ancient liberties. I'm not promoting lesser gentry. I'm not overlooking tenant abuse. So, I'm just gonna let them sit there. I will, however, expand incentives for merits, because that actually increases elite loyalty. Show devotion. Promote support commerce. Okay. I can assign the merchant now. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Let's keep it going. Oh, hello, Galileo. Just, you know, I don't need to read this. I think this is a base game event, so it's not specific to M&T. Okay, I'd say it's time now. It's time. My navy is ready and big. Aggressive expansion is almost gone. And Venice still has the same couple of allies, Savoy and the Knights. I can't really do much about the Knights, but I'm sure Venice will be fine with losing their capital and Istria. So I don't need France's help. I've got almost as many troops as they do. And that's good enough. There, go to port during war. They'll be stacked right. They have nowhere to retreat to. At least I don't believe so. Yep. The greatest protection has become the greatest weakness. All you need is a big enough navy. Okay. Right. It's the mid-decade again, so time for two things. One, muck about with a little bit only with the elites. Although it does look like, yeah, the loyalty is slowly recovering. That's good. Especially considering the fact that I no longer have any easy means to make them like me. Closest is promoting their faction, so yeah, things are gonna get fun for a while. My finances are inconsistent, so I'm not touching that. And I mean inconsistent. Corruption from recent reforms is still having an impact. So. Okay, there's one other thing I'm wondering. There. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely willing for me to give me this. But not both. Not just yet. Not in either count. I need to win more in order to get more war score, but I also need to, well... what else? Siege down Istria. For now, I care little about what happens in Greece or the Balkans. Italy is my primary concern. I do need to worry about the fleet. I don't want to lose more than I need to. So, wait, I'm just going to sit and wait for the time being. Ah, I did win the battle, even though I have lost ships. Ross wasn't doing so earlier. And they're willing to take the deal now. Oh, that's very good. I wasn't really expecting that all that much, but sure. Shrine thought. Huh. Rome still has its quarters. Wonder for how long. Is that all you're willing to give me? Yes. Fine then. I'll take it. I'll take it. I believe that's another mission complete. Yes. Permanent claim on the Central Italy region. I don't need that just yet. So, I'm not touching the button just yet. Alright. I think the end of war event, yeah, and then just set them up to drill. And we're good. Off to what's next. Oh. France broke their alliance with us. Oh well, I really was expecting that to happen at some point, so... I no longer have any allies. Oh well. It'll be fine so long as no one gets a little too aggressive. Not that there's any... I don't think there's anyone that particularly likes me. Genoa's kinda okay, but I think that might be... hoping I give them something back. Tlumkin hates me for some reason. Huh? They want Genoa. Mamluks aren't particularly happy with me. That's just differing religion. Yeah. Yeah. There isn't anyone that really likes me. But if they are, they don't like me for any good reason. Might be Ireland. Yeah, oh well. We shall have to see how things go. From here on out. Ooh! That's wonderful. I can embrace an institution. Specifically meritocracy. And that's a very hard one to obtain. It's very slow, and it's very difficult for any but the richest of countries to manage. So, yeah. Let's take it before it gets to be too difficult. It probably will. It's gonna take in Ferrara, it's gonna take another 30 years. Yeah, more than that. At that point, it's gonna be very difficult to reform. Take it. Let's take it now. It's expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Minus 20% tech cost, yearly corruption minus 0.3, admin efficiency plus 5%. And I can institute civil examinations, at least as soon as I boost the influence of the bureaucracy. I'm probably going to do that rather than major reforms. Fix up the minor reforms so that corruption can truly go down. I truly can build a strong state. Oh, rivals keep swapping around too. Okay, do I need to select a new one? No, my only possible rival is England because Spain is being potentially beat up. The other option is to attack France. Spain is busy. But is it a good idea to attack them? Perhaps. I mean, I'm only going after Sardinia after all. And it's a lot easier to fight France, so... You know what? I am not building a spy network on France. I'm gonna build one on Spain. Attack the stronger one when they're distracted, not the weaker one. That's how you get an even stronger opponent to deal with. Okay, I think I'm ready. Mostly. It is a war against Spain, after all. They're very tough. Among other things, oh, they have a huge navy. The one that's not well suited. And it's still smaller than the sheer quantity of galleys I have. Yeah. I'm gonna need you back though. Not sure why you've been sitting on there for that long, but well. Let's first trade favors for trust, and then do the war. Maxing out trust will help me with keeping them under control. Okay. Let's go. Does Rome even have? Yes, it does have a floor, but it's not active. So it should be easier to siege down because of this. Because the fort was not turned on. Probably to save money. Alright. I wonder how long this will last. The burghers need to know their ploys. Well, another decade. Another look at reforms and all that. There we go. Just dying is very annoying. Okay. Technology. Definitely grab regular pay, no issue. Cavalry flank damage plus 5%, all tactics plus 0.25, land morale plus 0.1, infantry shock plus 0.15. Quadrant. MEIOU discontent. Naval force limit plus 5%, colonial range plus 50, trade range plus 100. School teachers. Yearly corruption minus 0.02. I can't wait until Colombian imports truly manages to arrive. It's going to take a while longer though. Thankfully, it spreads fairly quickly once it gets somewhere. But I still need to wait a couple decades for it to get to any reasonable amount of spread to me. Okay, now for internal stuff. I don't think I can actually afford to do any major reforms. Insofar as loyalty cost goes. I mean, I could do these two, but that would be a bit a bit of a pain when it comes to noble loyalty. At least I know their power's going down. But I can't make them dislike me so much that I can't do anything with them, and the remaining options are all pretty bad, except for promote the aristocrat faction. I'd rather not give them power. So honestly, same with the burghers. They're getting way too powerful. It's getting to the point where I can't actually weaken them. Or at least it's approaching that point. And that's extremely dangerous, so... yeah, no reforms this time. I'm in the middle of a fairly important war too, so... need to keep costs down and keep things going. It's too important to let go just yet. Anyway, time to finish this war. Exactly as it needs to go. Take a moment to rest, and then keep going. Trash their ships. Steal their flagship. Or no, that's not a flagship, that's just a unique ship. Okay, it looks like that they're willing to come to the negotiating table now. Or at least willing to sign a peace deal that I want. No, they're not. They just turned red. Okay, give it a couple. Give me a bit more time to pick up some important sieges. Just a tad more war score. Come on. Maybe I need a siege on the capital. Ah, okay. I need a bit more time than that, don't I? I can still walk to the capital. I reckon that should be enough. Well, the siege helped anyway. It's enough points now. And for some reason, the war score cost of these provinces reduced slightly. Which is itself a bit odd, but okay. I'll take it. There's really nothing I can ask, can I? There. That should be good enough for now. But now of Sardinia. Excellent. That's step 1. Step 2 is to attack France. Soonish. We'll fabricate a claim over here, just in case it's useful. I don't find that likely, but, well, to be sure. Burger loyalty is cheap. The Assayer. That's different. I mean, among other things, I've never heard of it, so it might be some sort of astrology thing. Yeah. So. Which is not something I know much about. And I don't need to know much about it. The Assayer, Il Saggiatore, was a polemic against the treatise on the comets of 1618 by Orazio Grassi, a Jesuit mathematician of the Collegio Romano. Ah, in this matter, Grassi, for all his Aristotelianism, was right and Galileo was wrong. Galileo incorrectly treated the comets as a play of light rather than as real objects. In 1616, he may have been silenced on Copernicanism. In 1623, his supporter and friend, Cardinal Maffeo Barberini, a former patron of the links and uncle of Cardinal Francesco Barberini, became Pope Urban VIII. The election of Barberini seemed to assure Galileo support at the highest level in the Church. A visit to Rome confirmed this. He insisted that physics should be mathematical. According to the title page, he was a philosopher or physicist of the Grand Duke of Tuscany, not merely a mathematician. Physics, or natural philosophy, spans the gamut from processes of generation and growth, represented by a plant, to the physical structure of the universe, represented by the cosmic cross-section. Mathematics, on the other hand, is symbolized by telescopes, or an astrolabe. This is the book containing Galileo's famous statement that mathematics is the language of science. Only through mathematics can one achieve lasting truth in physics. Those who neglect mathematics wander endlessly in a dark labyrinth. Although the Assayer contains a magnificent polemic for mathematical physics, ironically, its main point was to ridicule a mathematical astronomer. This time, the target of Galileo's wit and sarcasm was the contemporary commentary theory of a Jesuit, Orazio Grassi, who argued from parallax that comets move above the moon. Galileo mistakenly countered that comets are an optical illusion. Everyone should know it. Hands it over to all the Italian countries, or the Latin culture group countries. Okay, I think it's time. I've been preparing for a while, but there's no going around it. It's time to fight France. Guaranteeing the independence of Austria. Oh, man, it must be terrible to be Austria. I mean, what's the point of the Holy Roman Empire if the Emperor has to be guaranteed by an outsider? Here, let me help the Empire a bit by removing these 2 provinces. Nope, not enough for there to be a positive gain. Yeah, I just reduced the decay by 0.1, so that's surprising it doesn't do much. But yes, it is finally time to go ahead and... Oh. Apparently I still have military access. Okay, gives me another month to recover morale. Okay, so you will siege. You will stand around here to provide assistance as necessary, or defense. Okay. I should actually check which locations have garrisons, because I want a garrison, and it's only Umbria. Okay. Not very many countries involved in this one. Oh, Umbria has a fort. Okay. It's just a castle, though. Not a big deal. Keep it light, keep it simple. That massive spy network is certainly helping now. Siege ticks are so fast to go through. At least in provinces that aren't, that don't have high local defensiveness. Nah, it won't be a big deal. Actually, I could use reduce aggressive expansion impact on the ruler's personality, so... Yep. Just keep sieging down, and check to see how much this would take. 26. Okay. Might generate a coalition, but it's probably not a big deal. I'll have you head back here once this is done, because I do need to defend my own provinces. Stand here. You're very far out of sight then, and yeah. Okay. Decade, and actually I think it would be a good point to end the session, at least time-wise. We'll see the end, don't worry, but not the session. Besides, the end result's kinda preordained anyway. I'm so powerful I can easily win. I just need to get their war enthusiasm down a little bit more, and then we can just grab these provinces and be done with it. For now. You know what? Fields of Lombardy. Let's grab those 100 points. I could use that for attack. Swivel guns! And I don't think I'll be buying ahead of time tech anymore. I don't need it. Null tactics plus 0.25, artillery fire plus 0.5, enables leather guns and the Star Fort. I have no plans of building that, though. I am going to wait until the final fort level, the fortress, before I start really upgrading fortifications. Because there's no change in cost. Even if there's a level 4 fort there, if I build a level 5 fort, it's still going to be the same cost as if there was no fort there in the first place. So really, there's no reason to actually build that. Still have to do internal matters, though. It's a good time to boost the influence of the... No, I cannot. Drat. Recent events prevent me from doing that. Okay, no reforms of that kind, sadly. Still promotes support commerce and perform a check of devotion. Get the other factions a bit happier. Clergy are slowly losing power, but it's a lot slower than I would like. Nobles are rapidly losing power, which is great. I may get freeholding eventually, though that's going to take time. It's absolutely going to take time. And it's not going to be easy to keep them happy while weakening them to that point. Oh well, it's not really that big of a deal. Anyway, so I have conquered Sardinia and Venetia and Istria. All that's left to complete the mission tree is to get the rest of, well, Latium, or Lazio, is another way to put it. So these 4 French provinces, and also Roma. That shouldn't be that hard. I can also get Trieste as a side benefit because, well, Trieste is allied with the Papal State. So, co-belligerent, should be an easy war. A little more difficult is the fact that I'm a republic. Which means in order to get the Iron Crown of Italy, I need nationalism. Yeah. Not going to be easy, is it? Oh well. That just means I need to wait a little while before I can get more of the mission tree. I'm also in a position to be able to embrace Colombian imports, which is great. But I'm waiting a little while just so that I can spread just a tad further. For example, in Florence it needs another couple months. Over here in Marca Grossetana it needs another year-ish. Volterra needs another few years. Yeah. Lots of these provinces are actually fairly cool. It spreads fast, so I'd rather just save the money. Global trade is going to be more of a difficulty though. Apparently, the only country that is actually having any progress towards it is Portugal. Which, congratulations to you, I guess, but global trade is very important, and at the same time, so annoying. At least I am relatively ready for academia. It's going to take a few more years to get to the point where it's... I forgot the rest of the deck, didn't I? Goldsmith Banking, trade efficiency plus 1%, separate growth plus 2, enables the 2-decker. Rationalism, production efficiency plus 1%. As for the expeditions, I only got one other province. So to Wadadli, so yeah. Not really a big deal. I guess they're a tax source, and I can invest in the infrastructure eventually. But there's not that much population here. Well, okay. Let's get amenities set up. After all, more trade power isn't bad. There's certainly enough residential population here. Plus, people are immigrating to the New World anyway. Apparently this place is pretty good, so... Farmlands are maxed out, the mines not so much, but that's because it's sea salt. What are we farming anyway? Crops and largely nomadism. Yeah, nomadic pasture is... Provides quite a bit of good stuff, doesn't it? And nomad labor is incredibly cheap compared to rural labor. There's plenty of nomads here, after all. They are immigrating, so... not sure. Probably an overabundance of nomad labor. That's probably the issue. Anyway, I have picked up representation ideas and completed them, so... And I've also picked up, replaced a centralized state with legal protections. That way, tolerance is high, regardless of circumstance. Which will help keep the peninsula under, well, all the Catholic regions under control. And keep religious unity up, which is very important. It's not perfect, but it helps raise missionary strength even while tolerance reduces it. I may need a stronger focus on missionary strength in the future if I want to do that, but it's not really important. Plus, the representation helps keep them under control, even if the representation doesn't mean much. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye. Quality is so freaking strong. I'm easily the strongest power in Europe. On my own. I don't have any allies. I just have one subject. 60k troops, and it's easily enough.